Good Tuesday to everybody. Thanks for clicking on to today's European Outlook. The heat is back, and yes, I am always, well, it feels more like, this year worse than any other time, really. You're a bit cautious about mentioning hot temperatures, but it seems to be that there is this kind of, there's not mention of any climate change stuff attributed to the heat of this summer, but it appears to be people get a little bit bent out of shape when we're talking about record-breaking temperatures and summer heat. This is the fourth heat wave of the summer, mainly for the south of the UK, but even across the north, we're seeing temperatures back into the high 20s once again. This is the latest visible satellite imagery, and you can see here we've got some big storms now blowing up over Iberia into the south of France as well. And we've now had 3 straight days of around 43 Celsius in the south of Spain, south of France, and mid 40s, even close to that, across parts of Iberia. This is a tweet here by Paul Blight showing that the temperatures have at least reached 45.5 in Spain, 44.6 in Portugal, 42.9 in France. And as he says in this tweet here, there is some big storms now blowing up over Spain and the south of France. Looking at the current temperatures of medial seal then, and we do have temperatures in the low 40s across the south of France, low to mid 40s across Iberia, and temperatures into the low 30s across parts of the southern UK. But even north into Scotland, we've got temperatures into the mid to high 20s. Even Ireland, Northern Ireland, talking about the temperatures 27, even 28 across parts of the Republic of Ireland this afternoon. So this is bona fide, proper warm weather again, especially across England and then down into France, Spain, Portugal. Even the Low Countries, we're talking about mid-30s this afternoon at the time of recording, which is about just after 4:45 on this Tuesday evening. Looking then at the UK and Ireland current temperatures, we've got the temperatures into the mid-20s up at Aviemore and Inverness, 26, even 28 Celsius in Charterhall in the Borders region here. I wouldn't be surprised if we scrape a 30 somewhere this afternoon in the south of Scotland. And then we're generally 30 to 33 Celsius, it appears to be, between the South Midlands and southern England. Even into Wales, we've got 32 Celsius at Hereford. But even across into Ireland, Garteen recording 27.5. We've got 26s in Thomastown and Castlederg, respectively. So it is a hot day out there, and tomorrow we are going to see more hot weather. This is the Met Office model here for today, so 33, 34 Celsius was the forecast numbers late this afternoon. We did see a tropical night, it looks like, on the south coast. The tropical night, I'll start again. The tropical night at St. Catherine's Point in the south shore of the Isle of Wight. 20.3 Celsius, I think, was recorded. That's only the second night above 20 in the UK this summer, which is actually quite surprising given this is the fourth heat wave. And these are the temperatures tomorrow afternoon according to the Met model here. It's actually showing a 36 in parts of eastern England tomorrow. So this model can sometimes be a little bit overdone in my opinion, but we'll wait and see what happens. Widespread mid-20s once again across the northern half of the UK as well as Ireland and Northern Ireland. Got perhaps a little bit cooler air now moving into the south of Ireland, but mid-20s still for up across parts of Northern Ireland. There's a 30 Celsius showing up tomorrow afternoon in the Borders region of Scotland here. A couple of 30s, in fact. So, fairly warm conditions. We do have Tropical Storm Erin that is expected to become not only the first hurricane of the season in the Atlantic, but potentially the first major hurricane of the season as well. The track is expected to track north of the Leewards and Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and it depends on whether it can find this system, can find a weakness between the ridges to then turn northwards up the east coast, or does it track further west towards land? That's going to be the golden question. But this Erin will likely become the first hurricane and major hurricane of the 2025 season. I want to show you this then. Obviously, the tropics are playing a role. We've got the remnants of Dexter moving towards Ireland. That is pumping the heat as we see the pressure low to the west, high to the east, southerly flow. We're importing some of that really hot air across France up into the south of the UK, and even that's drifting up into the south of Scotland this afternoon as well. We've got multiple areas of low pressure, if you notice here, trapped beneath highs. We've got very, very hot temperatures across the northeast, but particularly eastern Canada. We're seeing record-breaking heat, 100-degree Fahrenheit temperatures in eastern Canada. We're seeing the hot conditions over the west of Europe here. We're coming off a firmly positive North Atlantic oscillation, but it is trending back towards negative here as we progress through the second half of August here. So it's going to be an interesting time coming up. We are also watching what takes place with regards to Erin, whether it tracks northwards up the western side of the Atlantic and then bends to the right here, catches the westerlies and affects the upper level pattern, the Atlantic and Europe here. That is going to be the next watch point here. But you notice here the 850 temperature is very hot either side of the Atlantic. You've got this dip in the jet here. You've got this cooler pocket then that has driven southwards to over the Azores. We've got the remnants of Dexter just to the west of the British Isles, and that is pulling this heat out of Africa over, Iberia, France, and into the UK. But it's really all about how this pattern evolves. Now, it looks as if we are going to get somewhat of a more unstable environment as we move into the day, Wednesday and Thursday, and then we're going to actually get a resurgence of heat across the UK during the course of Friday, possibly into the weekend as well. You notice here, even by the time we reach Sunday, we've got the widespread temperatures 10 to 15 Celsius. We've got the 15 possibly an approach at 18 or 19 Celsius at 850, edging into the southwest of the UK by 15 UTC on Sunday. We've still got this trough to the west, and with the high to the east, that is continuing to open the door to some very, very hot air extending from Africa, Iberia, up into the UK and Ireland here. Now, as we continue to play through into early next week, we've still got the warmth in place, if you notice here. But at this very point in time, there is Erin as a major hurricane to the north of the islands here. There is a trough that is dropping into the eastern side of Canada. That is going to bring welcome relief here. Heat is going to be building central and western United States up into the western side of Canada as that trough drops down to the east of that heat dome, and that is going to then potentially draw Erin northwards up the western side of the Atlantic. Question mark will be, does it make landfall somewhere within the eastern United States, or does it miss it? And if it does, with this drop in temperature, this cold pool dropping south out of eastern Canada, and Erin and all its warm tropical energy engaging with a strengthening jet stream, that then could refire the jet, buckle the jet. We actually are seeing the ECMWF. This is obviously a long way out here, but I'm trying to already start to show you what type of pattern we could be dealing with towards the final 10 days of the month, final 10 days of meteorological summer. We could actually see initially a trough dropping south over the UK and Ireland. Then that system becomes extratropical, becomes a very large area of deep low pressure with a lot of wind associated with it. This could, in essence, if this was to happen, and it drifts up into the North Atlantic, fires up the jet, buckles the jet, we could have one of two things taking place: a deepening trough over the UK and Ireland, or we could actually send a new hot air mass up into the UK as well here. So the tropics are very much becoming a player in the end game to 2025 summer. This is going to be one of, if not the hottest summer on record for the western side of Europe. There's no getting away from that. The evidence is all there. I know people don't like to hear certain things. They don't like to see the big red colours in the map. We've got hot air at the moment. That's going to continue through the rest of this week. We're going to see showers, thunderstorms erupting with that hot, humid air and a little bit of trigger within the atmosphere. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. This is the upcoming 7 days in terms of ECM extended surface pressure anomaly here. And let's look at Europe in particular. You can see here, this is the overall next 7-day period. We've got the trough to the southwest, but a lot of high pressure over the UK, particularly so further north, if you notice. But it's as we play through this loop, the high really doesn't go anywhere. You've got lower pressure, if you notice here, down into the near continent. The high then starts to actually kind of congregate more towards the region between the UK and Iceland. This is the day 9 through 16, by the way, which takes us out to the 20th through the 27th of August. So quite interesting here to see how what takes place within the tropics will heavily influence what takes place over our part of the world. If we look at the upper heights over the next 7 days, this is how it's looking. So strong ridge of high pressure. Play through the loop. You can see here that that high doesn't really go anywhere. It may start to ease as we head towards the very end of this month. You notice here that we've got neutral heights indicating that we may see somewhat of a trough trying to build into the west of Europe here. But certainly very interesting times coming up in terms of precipitation anomaly over the next 7 days. We've got, in fact, that's the actual rainfall. This is the anomaly. If we can just get to the right chart. Drier than average. Obviously, it doesn't mean that we won't see any rain at all. Play through the loop. It remains drier than average, and this takes out to Monday the 25th. And then we may see something changing towards the end of this month. In terms of the temperature anomaly over the next 7 days, it's looking like this here. So very warm compared to average, particularly Iberia, France, and into the south of the UK, but all of Western Europe is warmer than average over the next 7 days. In terms of fire danger, this is the current situation here across Europe between the 11th and the 17th. High risk of fire or wildfires across England and Wales, and possibly eastern Scotland, France, much of Europe really, Central and Southern Europe has a high fire danger. In terms of heat, it really has been hot. There's no question about that. Bordeaux, for example, in the southwest of France, hit 41.6 Celsius yesterday. That is a new all-time record for Bordeaux. We did see some incredible heat into the Balkan region. On the last 3 days, minimum temperatures have remained at or above 30 degrees Celsius in one location. Coastal towns have seen temperatures holding up close to 30 Celsius all night long. All-time hot nights being achieved in Dubrovnik Airport, Mostar, 29 Celsius at Dubrovnik Airport, Split, and Lastovo, 28 Celsius for nighttime minimums. Mostar recording a minimum temperature of 27 Celsius. And in terms of daytime temperatures, we've seen temperatures into the 40s quite comfortably, actually. So you can see here temperatures throughout the Balkan region anywhere from 39 at the lowest to about 43.6 Celsius. And then looking at other temperatures, let me just see here. So Albania 43.6 in Tirana. All-time hottest temperature, nighttime minimum temperatures, as I've already explained. Let's just go to extreme temperatures around the world just quickly, and then we'll end with this. So it's going to remain warm throughout the rest of this week. Mark Vogan Weather HQ set a new August benchmark of 26 Celsius this afternoon. Previous record was 23.9, so it was only a matter of time before that record was broken. And now this is all 3 summer months now has achieved a temperature in excess of 25 Celsius. But incredible heat across eastern portions of Canada. Morocco seeing temperatures as high as 47.9. I was trying to get the French and Spanish temperatures here. So August hottest day on record for 80 stations. 58 of which were all-time records, including important ones like Bordeaux. So very, very impressive heat in parts of southern France. Like I say, 3 straight days in excess of 43 Celsius has been achieved. We've seen mid-20s across parts of Spain. And it's going to continue through the rest of this week, I think. Stay tuned. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing here on the channel. Stay cool. And we'll look at more in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.